Yo, welcome to Bhillz live stream powered by Quality Music Management. We're joined here with the recording artist, podcaster, a man of many hats, Bubba Startz. I appreciate you being on the show, man.
Bobby, it's always my pleasure, man. I love what you do, and you've shared my stuff on the stream before. So when I saw you putting it out there, looking for interviews, man, I'm blessed to be here with you.
For sure. So we're gonna jump right into a song first. We're gonna play this Drifter. Is there anything that you want to tell the people about the song before we play it?
This is actually a song I wrote in prison. Writing it kind of from the position of, drifting from one life into another, but also that life of a drifter. At 18 years old, I pretty much threw the guitar on my back and started traveling. Never really put down roots anywhere. So that's kind of the theme of it. And it just so happens that, that 2 years in prison was the longest I'd been in one place up to that point, probably in 15 years. So kind of written from the perspective of someone who moving into a different life. And you'll kind of hear it in the lyrics, man. It's pretty self-explanatory of my life, and pretty autobiographical, man, based on a true story, if you will.
All right, so we'll get right into it. Is this song that's available on all streaming platforms?
Yeah, it's out there in the world now, man. Okay. I want to shout out the guys who helped me do it. They're actually on all these tracks, but Tom Freer recorded this in his recording studio, Cottonwood Recording, played drums on here as well. My friend Diami Giroux's on the bass, and Johnny Hastings is playing guitar, who's a phenomenal artist in his own right. You can check out Johnny Hastings Blues on Spotify as well. So you'll hear him in here on the feature.
For sure. So we'll get right into it, and then we go talk more with Bubba Startz after this. So this song's called Drifter, man.
Once I was a drifter, all alone away from home, searching for an answer in my soul. Once I thought the wandering life was all little differently this time. Now I'm too old to go walking down this long and winding road. Too young to just wait around to die. I'm gonna go on living like my heart is still on fire. Just a little differently this time. Live a little wiser down the line.
Nah, this is. Nah, that's a good song, man. Like for real. Just have to bring it back. Cut up.
Graveyard too, brother.
Nah, that's a good song, man. I like how the whole story of it, and I like how it's about being a drifter, and then it ends with, you know, now I got my kids. I'm seeing my kids grow up. I got my wife now and stuff, and you know what I mean? Because I think it's important to with music to whenever you got, you know, if you bring them down, you gotta lift them back up. You know what I mean? And you did a good job with that on that song because it's definitely dope, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And, you know, that one's been kicking around for a while. I mean, it's almost 10 years now since I went to prison, 9 years. And so that song's like 8, 9 years old. Right. And I just got the opportunity last December, jump in the studio with Diami and Tom and laid down the bass and drum tracks and some scratch guitar tracks. And Johnny ended up throwing the guitar riffs on maybe like April. And man, the first time I heard him, I cried, Bobby. I was just like, oh my God. Like, because I don't play like that, man. And I tell people all that. He's my favorite guitar player. I've known him for 20 years. He's been in a lot of different acts. He has his own band, Johnny Hastings and Stillhouse Down, but he played in a rock reggae band with, you know, some other brothers of mine named Camp Comfort. He's just always been my favorite. And it's because of how expressive of a guitar player he is, right? It's not necessarily like he's obviously super proficient, but it's the way that he talks with the guitar. Like, I don't feel like I have that as a player. And he really brought this one to life. And I mean, when I went back in to do the vocals, then I kind of like getting this whole music video playing in my head as we're listening to it and playing it out, and like just being in the swamp and kind of seeing like him emerging through the mist and just like got this whole crazy visual. And I had him on my podcast, The Scene Projects, probably a month and a half ago or so. And we talked about it. And he's like, yeah, I kind of had this vision of like being in the swamp and just like, it was just crazy, right? Where it's like, you so perfectly captured that visual moment of it, you know? And even in his playing, he's like, you know, I kind of wanted it to feel like it's drifting, like, oh, he's about to lose it all, but it comes back. And it was really cool to have that conversation with him. And just the way that it conjures up those feelings and those visions, right? Like, super cool, man. It makes me appreciate being a songwriter even more when you're able to create with people like that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that music especially has lost, because so many people make music by themselves now with computers and stuff like that, where y'all actually in there in a room together recording it like a live session, you know what I mean, like takes and stuff, like coming together, and because it makes all the artists, it's like a collab, you know, a collage of like all y'all's energy, everything that's on the song, you know, because. But I wanted to ask you before I forgot. So you said that you made the song, you wrote it 9 years ago, whenever you was in prison?
Yeah, probably 8, 9 years ago, somewhere in there.
What'd you go to prison for?
Selling weed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not like a little bit either, Bobby.
Nah, I figured. They're not going to give you 2 years for like a little joint or nothing. No.
I mean, I had a federal postal box with 5 pounds and a pound of wax in it when they caught me. And that was probably, you know, I was in triple digits by that time on the year. So yeah, it wasn't
What
wasn't screwing around.
Whenever was that your first offense? That was your first time?
No, God,
so
no, I had already had.
Oh yeah, because you said you were a drifter. So if you've been a nomad, then that's your second home.
It was always
always got that
drugs
for
in
you.
jail. Yeah, man. I was always, you know, in South Dakota, pot just became medically legal just a few years ago. So yeah, man, I've been going to jail since I was 18 years old for weed, one way or another, and was, you know, I got caught with some ecstasy or something in Oregon back in the day, and it was always usually small amounts. That last time was enough, and you know, I haven't been back to prison or jail or anything since then. But all the laws and culture changed in that time too.
Yeah,
right? Like
that's what's good about it, because I'm from Texas, and weed's still illegal in Texas, you know. And I was selling weed out there in Texas and doing stuff too. That's why I came out here to St. Louis to try to get my life together and stuff and get out of all that, you know. But let's get into when did you first start getting into making music? Like, what was your first like not like whenever you first picked up an instrument, but whenever you first like the first music that you like heard and made you like where you just felt something, you were like, man, I want to do that. I want to make people feel like what I feel.
I mean, it was pretty early on. Always been a singer, sang, you know, in choir in middle school, band in middle school, playing, you know, drums and then bass guitar in jazz band in 7th grade. By 8th grade, I picked up a guitar. And I was writing almost immediately and writing and getting these, you know, emotions out of me, these stories out of me in that way. And I mean, I've really been doing it live on stage ever since. I've been at this game for like 25 years, man, playing in bands and doing this. I'll be 40 next year. I remember leaving JV basketball games in high school to go play in the bars with my dad and his band. So it was almost immediately as soon as I started creating music and was able to create, I was writing my own stuff. Right. So, man, I've been at this for a long time. It's crazy to think that like I've been doing this for a quarter of a century. I should probably be better at some of it than I am. But as you know, you kind of heard in the song, there's been some detours along the way.
Yeah, but those detours is it makes the music good too, because it's experience. You know what I mean? Like I just was watching some movie and this dude, he said he was like a grandmaster, uses his flaws. You know what I mean? And it made me think like, it's like everything you're not makes you everything you are. You know what I mean? Like the fact that, you know what I mean? Like even all the mistakes, or even just like, you know, with me, like I'm not a very good singer, you know, but I'm like a rapper and I wish I could sing, but I'm good with like collabing with people, because I'll like write and then get on songs and then like be like, hey, look, sing this part, do this. And it makes the song better. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they want to take credit for everything. Like, you know, that's one thing, like you mentioned being a songwriter, like to write a song and then trust somebody else to do it for you is a great, you know, thing that gets overlooked. You know, a lot of people overlook the songwriters. You know, they're just looking at the person doing the song, but really that person is a puppet that was instructed. Because if you're a songwriter, you're also like a composer. So you're like, this is the way we're gonna do it like this, like a coach to the artist. You know what I mean? Like,
it's and I'm new to that world. So just recently I was in Nashville for the Josie Music Awards, worked the red carpet at the Grand Ole Opry House, which was a pretty awesome experience.
That's awesome. I
interviewed like 150 artists that night, and all different scopes. Some are singers, some were songwriters, some were singer-songwriters. You know, some of them are just players in a band, and getting everyone's different take on what it is, because I've always been the singer-songwriter. I've been writing for myself to sing the parts, haven't necessarily been offloading that part of it. But a lot of my friends now are just songwriters or are primarily singers singing other people's music that have been given to them. And like, I've done that with cover music. Like when the song's already delivered, I've been able to copy that. But I've never necessarily, you know, maybe in bits and pieces, co-writing a little bit, but taking what somebody else wrote that maybe they didn't have a plan for and let it move me in that reading, and then written a song behind that. and or vice versa, been the person who's like, hey, this is what I think it is, and had that delivered to me. There's just so many ways that things are done, and especially in a city like Nashville where you have so many creative people coming from all different walks of this, and knowing a relationship. I know you produce some of your own music, but you've worked with other producers as well, where you're kind of like, here's this song, I think it kind of goes like this, and then maybe you get something back that's different than what you thought, or you delivered, a space for a verse. I know we kind of talked about this on the stream with you before, and when we had you on Love Noise, that like you sent out a song to the guy like, hey, throw a verse here, and he ends up like just completely kind of altering the way the song goes, right? Where you're like, oh damn, that was actually better.
It was better that way. I was just happy that he left me a little bit at the end. I was like, hell yeah, I could get on this too. Fuck it.
Yeah, so there's just, and I'm looking forward to that. Like,
yeah. I think the best way to songwriting, not to interrupt you, but I think the best way to songwriting is, if you're gonna do it, is to like what I do is I'll go ahead and like sing the song, like I'll produce the track or whatever, and I'll sing it like the best I can. So that way, whenever they hear it and be like, this is how the song goes, and then give them the lyrics, write the lyrics down for them, or send it to them and send them that, so then they can see. Because if you're trying to read something, it's hard. You can't really get the same feeling off of reading as you can like hearing, the track. So it's almost like how you were saying, how you like would hear my song and then you'd be able to recreate that. It's the same. Like, I think that's, but yeah, man, like, so with working with so many artists and doing, because I'm, like, I live in the age where a lot of it's just like making music, sending tracks back and forth type stuff. So tell people a little bit about like how like the pros and cons from like playing, having a band, having different members, y'all having to be on the same page and make time for it and stuff like that. Like tell people a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, and I'm super jealous of people that have like been in a band for 10 years, and you're the same people, and you're like, you form a lot different bond than like what my band has been. Now, I happen to be good friends with some of the guys that I recorded this album with, but some of us, that was our first time ever playing together in the studio and playing these songs. I had sent them demos ahead of time, like, hey, these are how they go, from live recordings or stuff that I've done in the past. But when we jumped in, that's the first time Diami and Tom and I had ever played together. And then Johnny actually dubbed his guitar tracks over it later. So we're jumping in, run through the song one time, and then hit record, and we're like, damn, that came out pretty good. Let's just run with that. Right. So
y'all just doing like one takes basically with all the songs, or just like a few of them?
Pretty much everything I sent you today was maybe the second take. Like, we ran through it the first time just to make sure we had the feel, but I had sent them demos ahead of time, so they had time to listen to them and had a good feeling for the song. But yeah, you're hearing like the second time as a group that we're playing that song on the record. And then, Johnny throwing in the guitar tracks after the fact and having it. And I don't know that he necessarily, sat there and practiced it and did 100 takes on it or anything like that. So it's pretty raw. And I mean, for me, because I have this decades of experience of just playing live, and most of that isn't like, oh, we're going to rehearse 14 times before a single show. Most of the times I played in my life, we maybe get a rehearsal or two if we're lucky, and I'm showing up live with a 40-song set list going, here's the songs, let's roll, and just kind of winging it, man. So I've always shot from the hip in that way. So I've been very blessed to work with like super talented people that fall in, and not just talent, but have the guts to go out there and to play songs that sometimes you've never played or you've never heard, and to just do it.
Yeah. So you said whenever y'all do like 40 track playlists, showcases.
Yeah, when I play a show, it's usually like a 4-hour bar show. I'd say maybe not
That's
40,
awesome.
but in between 30 and 40 songs sometimes. Yeah.
That's awesome. The most I've ever done is 30 minutes. Most showcases here, like I'm doing a lot of, they're like 8 minutes, like stuff like that, But most
I got 4 hours and I had a lot of covers,
awesome.
right? I might play like 5 to 8 original songs in there, but there's been other times where we opened up at a big amphitheater with a 45-minute all original set. And, that was really cool. Some of the live videos you'll see on the Startz and Ends YouTube channel from the Levitt Amphitheater, if I get an opportunity like that, and especially knowing that like our public broadcasting was filming it, right? So knowing that PBS is there, I got an opportunity to get this incredible footage on this big stage. I ain't wasting that on playing other people's music, right? Like I'm putting out my stuff and getting that recorded in that. And not that we had, at some of the other ones played a few covers, but yeah, always trying to put forth the original music in those situations on those big stages. But a lot of times when you're getting paid to go play these bars and venues up here in the upper Midwest, you're getting paid to play a 3-4 hour show. And we're doing that as one band, and you're playing, a lot of cover dance music. I call what I do modern gypsy rock. So it's kind of in between that rock and country, anywhere from Brooks and Dunn to Bob Seger, and, a lot of great music that you're going to recognize. Right. And then every so often I get to sneak in one of these original songs and be like, well, here's a piece of me that was inspired by all that music that we've just been playing for you. And I hope over time that I get to do more of the original as people get to know us more and getting in there, that we just get to play more and more of our own music.
For sure. So you mentioned some artists and stuff. So what are like your top like 3 biggest inspirations?
Grew up a big Grateful Dead fan, and consumed more of their music than really anyone out there. Maybe Sublime is a close second in there, so you can kind of put them on that list. But a lot of grunge bands. I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan, and because I like to sing, and you can kind of hear it a little bit in Drifter, and you're going to hear it more with the other song I sent you, True Meaning. But like, that's how I communicate. I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. The guitar was really to accent my vocals and my songwriting. I get it out by singing and having a really powerful voice. So huge fan of an Eddie Vedder, love the music of like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm born in 86, man. So as I'm like, my music world is starting to come around, those mid 90s, some really great rock bands out there.
That was the best little time period for that. That's why they still playing that era of music on the radio right now. Like, the alternative stations and the rock stations, they're still playing those same songs, right.
Well, and the classic rock too. Huge Led Zeppelin fan, and obviously all of that, those are classics for a reason, that coming out like that. And I'm really excited about this next period of my life, because where a lot of those bands formed when these people were in their 20s, right? In their early 20s, Led Zeppelin's in its heyday when these guys, nobody's over the age of 30, right? And they're selling out MSG. And granted, culture changed a lot in there just because of, the way the world is now. We have a lot older population than we did in the 60s and 70s. But I realized that like my career is far from over in a lot of ways, Bobby. It's just getting started, right? Yeah. Like I'm just starting to get my music out there and realizing who I am, not just as an artist, but as a human being, as a podcaster, as someone who likes to really focus like you on other people. Like the doors for collaboration now are wide open. I've interviewed over 500 artists in the last year on my show. And I guarantee if I offered anyone to collaborate on one of my songs that were in that roster, they would be happy to. And I would love to flip that vice versa too. And to, my dream's kind of to build a studio that I can start to bring these people into, and not a studio for profit, just for making incredible music, right? Bringing it in, finding some really high level, engineers and stuff that can come in, and just working with great bands and being able to, whether it's, playing an instrument on it, or doing a little background vocal, or sharing a verse, or whatever it is, just collaborating with as many people as I can in this next, hopefully, 40, 50 years of my music career.
For sure. Yeah. Cause I mean, like, look, cause like artists like Jelly Roll, he didn't break until, he was almost 40, and I had read that you had said something about that, whenever you got out of prison, that you tried the factory work life and it didn't really work for you. So you were inspired by like Jelly Roll and stuff to kind of get on this path that you're doing. Like, so tell people a little bit about that, man. Like just your ideas, like whenever you was getting out of prison, you had this song that you wrote. So you obviously had a focus, like a vision and stuff. Like tell people a little bit about like that whole transition into like being a factory worker and then getting into the music and then the podcasting.
Yeah, and I was very fortunate. My PO was super cool. When I got out, you know, and I had, because I paroled out to where I had grown up, and people knew I was, you know, back, and I had been gone for a few years. So like, oh, you playing music again and doing your thing, and it's like, well, yeah, I am, but it's not like it was before, where it was kind of my main thing before I, you know, decided I was going to be just a pot dealer, which kind of took me away from music completely. Right. Like I was fucking depressed, man, going through custody stuff. And I know you relate with a lot of these things. Like I didn't even want to be happy. And music was always my happy place. So I kind of like put that whole life aside for like 5 years. I really found my love of music the year I was in Mexico on the run, because I was using it to feed myself again. I'm playing in the Centro in, you know, the heart of Mexico, making pesos, but feeding my family and
You went
seeing
out
that
to
connection
Mexico?
with human
You went out-
beings again.
You went on the run out to Mexico?
I was in Mexico for almost a year, brother.
Damn. Did you? So how'd they catch you?
Oh, I came back.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Had a
yourself
son
in?
down there, got pregnant with my daughter, Cora Jean, down there. And it was like, I'm not raising my kids down here. Like eventually you got to go back and you got to bite the bullet and do your
Face it.
time. And, you know, I wasn't about to ruin my kids' lives because I was too scared to go take accountability for my actions.
Yeah, I
Right.
feel that. That's-
And, you know, obviously prison was a part of that, but even in prison, I was playing in the gospel band. I was, you know, I was playing, I had like this little miniature, like not even like a half-size guitar. And I would jam on that and sing for the guys in there. Cause where I was at in prison, we were in like, they called it the barracks. And there was like 300 people in this big ass room, triple bunks up. Like, so you were in a massive room with 299 roommates, right? So when
Yeah.
I'd be playing up there and singing, everybody's like, damn, man, you're really good. Like, can you play this song? Oh,
all
can
the
you play
bunk,
this
all
song?
the bunks were just in the one room.
Oh,
They-
yeah. You had rows and rows of triple bunks. So you had, you know, just bunks, man. It was, and barracks, because it's similar to like how Army barracks would
Yeah,
be
boot
set
camp.
up.
That's how I went to boot camp whenever I was younger. I got in trouble, and that's how it was. The barracks, you just had all these rows and shit, and you had to watch out because motherfuckers get you at nighttime and shit. But
Oh,
like,
bro, we see shit
but
like that all the time, man. Shit
but
like that all the time.
so,
But yeah, so music never really left. It was just obvious, like getting out, being on parole, like selling weed and playing music wasn't going to be your thing anymore. Like
yeah,
I
you
said,
outgrew it. You outgrew it. You can't. If you're 40 and you're still selling weed, man, you got like Cat Williams said. He's like, I don't know what you're doing with your life, man. You got to suck it up with crack or become a coke dealer. So you got to get your life together, man. You still-
right. And I was 31, 32 getting out. And, you know, I was very fortunate when I was in prison, I was able to take classes because I pretty much just like, I went to college for like a semester and was like, screw this, and just became that drifter. Right. Yeah. And I didn't necessarily have any skills that were profitable in the real world, but I was able to, in the prison, take some welding classes and learn a trade. So got out, found a welding job right away. And it just became that, you know, go to work and to run that life. And then music was kind of something that I got to do once a month, maybe go play a show and get together and hang out with some guys and, you know, rehearse and play some music. But over the time, like once I got off parole again and I started playing more shows and getting out there, kind of getting back into the life a little bit. And it was like, man, this is what I want to do. Going to a factory every day ain't my freaking cup of tea, right? Like, it's just, I'm looking around at the guys that are, you know, 10, 15 years older than me. They're both like, yeah, I only got 10 more years, and their bodies are broken and their 401k took a hit over COVID. And I was just like, man, I don't want anything to do with this life. Like, obviously I'm not going to be hustling drugs anymore, but I can get back out there and still hustle my music and find a way. I was fortunate enough to kind of fall into podcasting at that time, but I quit. I haven't worked at a 9-to-5 since February of 2024. So we're going on almost 2 years just being on the grind, more with the podcasting in the last year. But, you know, I got to go out and play a lot of shows in 2024, but also realize that like that tour life I wasn't all about that either, man. Trying to play 6 nights in a row, singing 4 hours, because I've always been like the only singer in my band, bro. I just like physically could not hold up to that. Yeah. And as much as, and I wasn't partying, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing anything, right? Like maybe smoke a little fucking herb because I had a medical card, but I just couldn't keep up. And it was like, okay, we got to find something. There's got to be another way to like make a name for yourself and to make a living. And yeah, just really went all in on the podcasting and supporting other artists. And now like it's about to crack now, right? We're playing a big national tour in March where we're going to 10 major cities, recording interviews with artists live, doing our showcase episodes. Like things are finally starting to crack off for us. And yeah, it's all in the name of independent original music, and I couldn't be more grateful for that.
For sure. So let's play another song. We'll get into this True Meaning. So give people a little bit of insight on this song, True Meaning.
So after getting off parole and starting to play in the bars again, obviously being told you couldn't do something, you weren't going to party anymore, kind of slid back into that old life a little bit, right? Partying at the bars with my wife at the shows and everything. And there was one day where we had stayed out late and she had to go to work early the next morning. And you kind of hear it in the song, the opening line of the song. But I was just a dickhead. You know what I mean? I said some shit that I shouldn't have, immediately felt horrible about it. And I went out later that day and wrote this song and was really, really grateful to get this one out on record. It's gotten me out of the doghouse a couple of times already. And look forward to it.
You just turn this song on. It's all that awkward silence. Y'all know the room, and then she just hears the song playing, and she's like, "That motherfucker."
Well, and played it at the big show, that I talked about earlier at the Levitt, and just seeing it bring that emotion out in my wife. And I mean, it changed me. It like, I broke my wife's heart that day, just being a hungover piece of shit, and just saying some stuff that she didn't deserve. And I mean, I had to find some way to make that up to her. When I'm sorry is not good enough. That's why I'm a songwriter. And that's where this song kind of came from. So yeah, this is for my wife, Danielle. I hope she's tuning in and listening. And this is True Meaning.
All right, so we'll get right into it. We'll come back and talk some more.
Watch you in the morning as you're getting up from work. After we closed down the bar and I was acting like a jerk. I said some stupid things I wish I never would have said. I never let you get out all the thoughts trapped in your head. Spending all day miserable with feelings bottled up. And then we both get so emotional when we try to talk it out. Blowing up our phones with all this texting back and forth. Wishing I could find the words to show you what you're really worth. You are my world. You're my anchor in the ocean, the only one I'm holding through the night. You are my world. You're the mother of my children, my end and my beginning, true meaning of my life. I couldn't live my life without you, no, I wouldn't even try to turn your whole world upside down over just my foolish pride. I'm jealous of the air you breathe because you need it more. And no flesh will ever tempt me, it's only you that I adore. You are my world. You're my anchor in the ocean, the only one I'm holding through the night. You are my world. You're the mother of my children, my end and my beginning, true meaning of my life. You are my world. You're my anchor in the ocean, the only one I'm holding through the night. are my world.
You're muted, Bobby.
So, do you think as an artist, it's easier for you to like express like yourself in your songs than it is for you to like me personally, like to me to sit down and tell somebody how I feel or even be like vulnerable to somebody like that? Like it's kind of a lot harder to, but I can be like that in a song. Like I can make a song talk about like my feelings and stuff. You know what I mean? Do you feel like as an artist, like you can relate or what's your aspect on that?
I think it comes off like I can talk, right? I got no problem talking to anybody and saying what's on my mind and what's on my heart. But I think that it's just the nature of music, right? Like it finds a way in more than words ever will. Hey, appreciate that, Andre. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that song means a lot to me. Means a lot to me and my wife both. And yeah, I mean, I've always expressed myself through music. And it's not that I can't say the words, but I think everybody feels it a little bit more when you sing it or you're able to tell that story. And I really think it's just the nature of music, right? Like people are actually listening. When you're talking to someone, they're thinking about often they're like waiting to respond with what they want to say, right? So with music, you're kind of forced to like just sit down and listen to someone's whole thought in that way, right? And maybe that's why it comes off in that way.
No, I love that. That's great because that's how I feel too. Because you know I really hate it whenever people talk. Whenever you play a song and then somebody starts talking, that's why I like the stream because then if they're talking, I can just mute them. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Definitely. So let's get into the podcast, man. Tell people like what all you doing on there. I was thankful enough to be on the show, man, and I had a great time. It was a great interview. But tell people a little bit about like the podcast and what y'all are doing.
Yeah, so the Scene Projects, you can see it on there. You can find more out at thesceneprojects.com as well. A little plug, because it's hard to explain, right? We are just everything about independent artists. It's music interviews, it's showcases that we film and, broadcast style, live events and put those out on the YouTube and out on a couple of different Roku streaming networks at this point. And we just keep capturing. I mean, really, it's my life. Bobby, it's just me. This is what I've always done. It's who I've always been. But now I just do it live on camera as much as I humanly possibly can. We just started a new show a couple weeks ago called Unsigned Spotlight, where instead of like what we did with you, we call that show Love Noise, where we have you on, we play your tracks. We get to kind of do it like we're doing here, right? Talking about the songs and interviewing the artists in between, where Unsigned Spotlight now is just like a radio show, right? We're playing 6 original artists every day, every weekday. We're able to come out for an hour. My partner over in the UK, AJ Waller, co-hosts that one with me.
So
and
y'all do that every day, right?
Every day, yeah. And we're talking about going to 6 days a week as well, maybe in the new year, because we love it. There's so much original music out there. Like, we're never going to run out of songs as long as people know where to send them into, right? Like, we're never going to run out. And that's what we're all here for, right? To share that experience, to share our human experience with other human beings. And granted, there might not be a million people listening. If there's one person listening, or I always say on the podcast, like if it changes one person's life and that life is mine, well, then it was freaking successful. So I don't need a million followers. I don't need to be fucking Joe Rogan, right? Like I don't care about that at all. I care about being associated and connecting with as many creative people as I humanly possibly can in this life. And the podcast has been a beautiful way to do that, man. Over 500 artists that we've interviewed on our show. If we just maintain the pace we're at now, you have 30 songs, 30 different artists every single week. Extrapolate that that's over 1,000 artists, or 1,500 artists a year that you're supporting and putting their stuff on, and extrapolate that over 10 years, talking about 15,000 artists that will be able to affect at just the pace we're at right now. So I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not in it to like would I turn down an interview with Jelly Roll or Luke Combs? No, but I'm also not in this just for that. Like I don't care about those things. I'm going to get my chance to interview Jelly Roll. You bet your ass I will, right? Like, but I'm more about connecting with Bobby Hills, and I'm more about connecting with Quality Music Management and all their artists in St. Louis, and all the artists in Austin and Dallas and Houston, New Orleans, Atlanta, Nashville, like all these cities that we're going to be hitting on this tour. It's the same thing. And just maintaining the energy that I have for it right now. I ain't getting any younger, but I'm more fired up about what I'm doing now than I've been in over a decade. And I don't like, as long as I'm creating, I'm not going to lose that fire. Right. And because I'm not getting hung up on, oh, well, we haven't got the 10,000 downloads, or, oh, we haven't done this, or then work harder. Like, keep going. And eventually you're going to hit some of those numbers and metrics that I think a lot of people in this world just pay way too much attention to, man. We are about impact, and you can't see it on the stream here, but Operation Combating Veteran Suicide is a veteran organization that we work with. We happen to be very good friends with the founders now. Man, we're all about using our platform to impact the world around us. And that's exactly what we're doing on a small scale right now. And it's only going to continue to grow as long as we stick with it. So like, stopping what I'm doing is the furthest thing from my mind. I don't care if I'm broke and if we're living on food stamps and fucking like whatever we got to do to keep doing what we're doing is what I'm going to do. And, do we want it to be more successful in the future? There's only so much control I have over that as well, right? What I do have control over is the work and the effort and the time that we put in. And I'm just not going to stop, man. I'm live on the air 20 plus hours a week like you are, right? Yeah. Like you don't do that without there being some, impact to the world and then some payoff at the end of it. It might take you 5 years. It might take you 10 years to see that payoff. But eventually it's going to come if you continue to put the time in.
And it's like you got to be in it for the right reasons. Like, you're doing this obviously because you love to do it. You have a passion for music. Like me, the same thing. Like, and enjoy talking to people about music. I enjoy conversations. You know what I mean? I think the world lacks conversations. So like, podcast is a great way to just sit here and have a conversation. Like, we're talking on the phone and other people just listen to our conversation. Like, like it's a dope thing, and it's like,
it's the coolest thing in the world, man. I fucking love this. I love this. And that's where
the podcast too, like Joe Rogan, like you mentioned Joe Rogan. Like, I love, like, whenever I'm at work, I'm always just listening to Joe Rogan because it's 3 hours I could just kill, just listen. It's just like I'm listening to somebody talk, like, because they're just having a conversation back and forth.
You're in the room with some really, and especially with Joe's show, is that because it's grown to the level that it has, and not that he doesn't have some of his friends on still, but you're getting some really high level people in there that you're having these conversations with, right? And exactly, Red Pill Rage, man, you got it. You have to stick with this game, man, and especially with as flooded as the entertainment business is now with artists and with podcasts and all that stuff. Like, you have to stick at this stuff for a long time before you're going to get known. And even I think a lot of people, like a Lainey Wilson or a Jelly Roll, and you're like, oh, overnight sensation. And you're like, dude, they've been grinding their ass off for 20 years, getting spit on and trampled over. And then they finally crack. And now they're selling out arenas. Like, that's such an inspiration to me to just be like, no, keep going. And especially with Jelly Roll, because of my situation, having been to prison, I thought it was done, right? I was like, man, nobody's ever going to want to hear my story. They don't want to hear that nonsense. And watching him go out and share himself gave me the confidence to go out there and share me, right? Like, I'm not trying to hide who I am. That's why I'll come right out with it. Yeah, I did prison time. Yeah, I ran off to my, like, yes, I did all of those, because you're going to find out if you want to anyway. Right. And I don't want people to look at me and be like, he's a fucking fraud. He's a liar. No, I came right out with it from the get-go. This is who I am. I can't change that. You can't change that. And let's, where do we go from here? And I feel like if more people just kind of take that mask off, man, don't throw that mask in the trash, because it ain't no good anyway.
Just like I was saying, like, you got to embrace your flaws. Like, things that you don't have, make them work for you. You know what I mean? Like, things that, because there's other people that are going to relate to it. You know what I mean? Just like music and stuff. Like,
I'll be right back, but I got to turn my heater off before it kicks on.
Okay, you're good. You're good. So while he does that, we're gonna play. Oh, he's right back. All right, cool.
No, I just didn't. My my heater blasting in the background, ruining the stream, man. We don't want that.
Nah. So all right. So before we wrap it up, man, go. Is there anything that you want to add to, and go ahead and like plug your shows and tell people where they can find like the times and everything.
Yeah, so you can see the name of the band is Starts and Ends. The Scene Projects is my podcast. You can go to sceneprojects.com. I got the interview links up there if you want to, get featured on the show and come through. I got a free book out there. I wrote a book last winter that I released this year in the fall. I was trying to I was going to put it out and publish it through Amazon or whatever. And I was just like, that, man, it's a PDF. I'll send it to you for free. Send me your email address off the sign up form. I'll send you a copy, but it's all about how I kind of did what I did to build up my podcast and a little bit of technical stuff, but autobiographical, right? Like, hey, this is who I am. If I can do this, being a freaking felon and a total loser like I was, to come back and like, if I can claim this space, then you can claim your own space out there too. So the book is called Building Your Scene. The podcast is The Scene Projects. My music is all under Starts and Ends. Just check it all out, man. I'm blessed to do what I do. I'm blessed to connect with people like you, Bobby, who are out there doing the same thing, man, grinding for other artists and building up a platform that hopefully somebody launches off of one day, right? And then we all ride somebody's coattails up into the stratosphere, and we own our own little piece of the entertainment puzzle. And I'm going to keep working every single day until it happens. Like, failure's not an option.
For sure. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you being on the show, man. Everybody, make sure y'all go check out Bubba Startz. It's Bubba Startz on the streaming platforms, right?
Starts and Ends on the streaming platforms. The Scene Projects is the podcast. You can type in Bubba Startz, man. There's one of me, a one of one, man. You're going to find everything that I do from there.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being on the show, and everybody make sure y'all go check out the podcast. What is it? Love and Live in Love.
Love Noise, and everything's on the Scene Projects on YouTube. So go over to YouTube, check out the Scene Projects, just like you see it on the stream here. And yeah, Bobby, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm glad we got to do this.
For sure, man. It was a pleasure.
Love me or hate me. Ooh, hey. Thugging, are you snaking me? Hey. Love me or hate me. Don't know what you would do. Thugging, are you snaking me? Don't be one of the two. Time after time, you done showed me the lie after lie. Never told me the truth. Love me or hate me. Don't know what you would do. Thugging, are you snaking me? Don't be one of the two.
So fly can't be seen around, so I will be leaving now. Smell like I've been held a pound, there's nothing you can tell me now. Let's just need another round, I see these evils all around.
We smoke switches when we running shit. Y'all don't even know what this my other bitch. Mr. Miyagi, I'm sipping sake and blowing switches. Hard to take a L when you always winning. I was capping like they want it, they ain't on it though. Just to make them mad, I call his favorite hoe.
Love me or hate me, don't know what you would do. Thugging, are you snaking me? Don't be one of the two. Time after time, you done show me the light.
And I don't need no watch. I don't need no watch. Swear my heart beat to the baby. They say it's a gift. I feel like it's a curse. And I don't need no watch. I know it's my time. I know nights.
Baby girl, like how you moving, you know ain't no giving up. Say that you need me, know I had enough. That bullshit, you know it's stressing up.
Destination for unfiltered entertainment and high energy engagement. Whether you're into gaming with Edge, podcast discussions that push boundaries, or reaction videos that keep it real, we've got it all. Love movies? Catch our no-holds-barred trailer reviews. Hip-hop head? We're judging rap battles with precision and passion. Plus, we've got exclusive interviews with artists, gamers, and influencers who live on the cutting edge. Buckle up and subscribe for the rawest, most real content on YouTube. Only on the Red Pill Rage, the channel where you are at the heart of everything we do.